Hey, so today I'm going to be showing y'all some tips and tricks for how to get a good foundation shade, a good concealer shade, lipsticks for your skin tone, eyebrow stuff, all that kind of good stuff that'll just help you be better with makeup and picking the right shade. And I'll tell you which websites are best for picking out good shades of stuff. I'm going to be showing y'all the best way to figure out a foundation that matches you. There is a lot of different ways. Some people say like put it right here on the inside of your arm, but like I'm kind of the same skin tone, but a lot of people are usually have different skin tones from their arm to their face to their neck and stuff. And sometimes your neck and your face are even different colors, but the best way to be able to get the perfect foundation match, there's not really, perfect foundation match, but what you want to do is you want to put it on your neck a little bit and then like right on your jawline like that. So then what you'll do is you'll take this, you'll take like usually if you're at like Sephora or Ulta, they'll have a beauty blender there, and you just want to try a couple different ones. Usually what I do before I go and I put it straight onto my face is I'll take a couple different swatches of colors and I'll put it on my arm, and then I can usually be like, oh, okay, this one's too dark, or okay, this one's too light type of thing, because you don't want to put something on your face right away and then be like, oh, that's way too dark. So if you put it on your arm first and then you kind of figure out a couple that you think are matches, then you can just put it on your neck, and as you can see, you can't even tell it's on there. I know that also like Tarte, this foundation, if you go online and you buy it from Sephora and I think Ulta too, it tells you like your undertones. So like if you're neutral or if you have more yellow or more red, it kind of helps you and it gives you the option to get rid of the ones that wouldn't work for your skin tone. So like you can pick light, and then if you know you have yellow undertones in your skin, then you can do light with yellow undertones, and it'll just show you good foundation matches for that. And another thing that helps me is I like to look at the pictures of like the girls that they have with the foundation on, because usually I can tell then which one is which. So like that was this one, but then I have my stick foundation, and this one is a little bit more difficult to kind of match. It's also darker, but I purposely got it darker for like summer and stuff. So stick foundations, I've noticed, don't blend very well with a beauty blender. So like a brush is usually better, but like I don't know if you can tell. So it did kind of blend into my skin since I wasn't using a brush. So it's just like, hold on, let me put it maybe right here. I don't know. So anyways, you just want to make sure that you get some on your neck and then like on your jawline, because you want to make sure that it looks good. You don't want to get something for your face that's like well, that's a little dramatic. Hopefully you're not getting something that's like 5 shades too dark, but you don't want to get one that's super dark and then not blend it down onto your neck. So if you are wanting to get a darker shade foundation just because you want to look tanner, if you're gonna do that, make sure one, it's not like super clockable where you're like, you can, tell. So you just want to get one that's a little darker, and then if you're gonna do that, blend it down onto your neck, take it onto your ears, take it, back all the way back here, because you don't want to turn and then you have this really bad line right here. So that's just some tips. And then if you're like me and you just want a perfect foundation match, you just bring it down onto your neck. And then I have like this BB cream stuff, which I don't really ever wear this kind of stuff just because it's not that full coverage, but might as well just have it for the moment. So then again, you just want to put it right there. And another good thing to do is try different brand ones because maybe you can't find the perfect match in Too Faced, but you can find your perfect match in Tarte, or, you know, vice versa, or Urban Decay, or I can't think of other ones, but I know that there's tons of different foundations, and so you need to try different types, but also you want to, it usually says on there if it's medium, light, or full, and then there's also, you know, buildable ones. So if you're looking for something full coverage, you want to go for the Tarte, you want to go for Marc Jacobs. There's another one, and I can't think of what it is right now. But there's a couple other full coverage ones, and then there's buildable ones, like, I want to say that the Too Faced one is buildable, but I could be wrong. I really just look for full coverage, but I know if you go online, you can, if you're going on Sephora's website, you can go to foundation. You can say, I want full coverage, I want it in light, and I want it with neutral undertones, because that's what I am. I'm not really like yellow or red type of thing. So that's what I look for. And then if you want to, you can do, okay, I want it to be a matte foundation, or I want it to be whatever the other type is. I can't think of what it's called right now. It just depends on, also if like you're oily, I'd probably recommend going for like a more matte one. I would say that the best place that I found to shop for foundation would be Sephora, because they have all those things where like you can try it on and all that, and you can look at the different shades and it shows you the swatches. Not saying that Ulta doesn't do that same stuff, but I've noticed that Sephora's website is easier to go through and to narrow down and to see which types you like. The good thing about if you shop at Ulta though is they have sales way more often than Sephora does, just because they're like, I'd say they're not as high not quality. They have like drugstore stuff in there too, so that's why they have sales more than like Sephora, who only has high-end everything in there. And so you're more likely to get a foundation on sale at Ulta than you are at Sephora. And so then with concealers, let me see if I can find my other one. So with concealers, as you can tell, they're completely different. Like, these two are almost the same shade, but like this one's a little darker, and then this one's almost white. So the thing is with concealer, what I like to do is I'll find the one that is my, you know, shade for my neck and my face, and then I'll go 2 shades lighter than that. So this one is the lightest one possible, that's why it mostly looks white, but like, it's just, I realize not everyone wants a, you know, super noticeable concealer. So if you're not, you know, like me and you don't want it to pop like this, I don't have any makeup on right now, so ignore all my freckles and stuff. But like, that shows up a lot. Whereas this one, that's from Collab, which you can find that in a Sephora. This one is also more light coverage, which I don't really like that because I can have really dark bags. But this one is more of my skin tone than this one is. This one's way more white. I also did more on this side, but like, this one is more white. So let's say that you're looking for a concealer that's almost the same as your foundation, but like you still want it to be noticeable, then you'd only go 1 shade lighter instead of 2. So like, if you look at these, isn't this funny? I feel like my actual foundation, it looks lighter than this. So that's another thing that you have to look out for, is just because, we're just gonna do it like on my nose, I guess. So just because something looks a shade in the bottle does not mean that once you get it out, it'll be that shade. I haven't used this yet, so wow. Okay. So what was I saying? Okay, so just because something is in the bottle and it looks super dark or super light, that doesn't mean that once you take it out and test it, it will be. So just because something looks, like it's your shade in the bottle, does not mean it'll be your shade once you take it out of the bottle, which is why I recommend, swatching and all that. But let me make this clear so y'all ain't out there doing some nasty stuff. So if it has an applicator like this one, you do not want to put this straight on your face. If you're in, well, this is only at Ulta. So if you're in Ulta and you do that, you don't want to put it straight on your face because someone else could have done that. You can get, bacteria in your skin because someone else's skin was on it. You could get an infection. Not saying, that they're just so dirty or anything, because they're really not. Like Ulta itself isn't. But people go in there and test stuff and put it straight onto their skin. So you have to think about that. Do you really want to risk getting, something on your skin because of that? So if you are testing it, make sure, you put it on your finger first, or you put it on one of those sponges first, and then you put it on your skin, because you don't want to go straight in with it. And that's the same thing, like, me, I will never I'll never try on mascara when I'm there. I know some people do, and that's why they have those extra, like, spoolie looking things that you can put in there and try, but I will never do it because I know you can get eye infections and stuff, and I'm not about that life. Not about to catch nothing because of that. Same thing with lip products. If I want to test it, I'll swatch it on my arm, which is really reliable usually. So you just have to watch the stuff that you do, and you don't want to put anything, straight onto your face. With your arm, if you're swatching it, it's not really that big of a deal because of the fact that it's your arm. Yeah, you could still possibly get an infection or something, but if you have an infection on your arm, you can cover it up. If you have one on your face, girl, there's nothing you can do now. You're stuck. You gotta go to the doctor. You gotta get that taken care of as soon as possible. So another thing is how to tell what shades of, like, lipstick is good for you. So if you're super pale like me and you want a nude lipstick, you don't want a, like, brownish nude. That's more for them people that got blessed and ain't as pale type of thing. So yeah, you could wear it, you might be able to pull it off, but usually you want to go with a more pinky nude, and then, if you're of a darker complexion, you want to go for the ones that aren't as pink usually. And I'm trying to think, with reds, I feel like the darker reds just make me look more pale, so I kind of try to go for a more pinkish red. Some girls, like Taylor Swift, she can pull off red lipstick and she looks super good, but I'm just like, I can't go full red and it looks super type of thing. What else? Okay. When you are trying to figure out a shade for your eyebrows, the first thing you do is, like, my roots are super dark. So what I do is, I look at my root shade and I realize this is, like, the darkest shade possible for benefit. But since usually I am all blonde, or I try to be, I don't want my eyebrows to be as dark as my hair that grows in. So I'll get, like, a shade lighter, or 2 shades depending on it. Like, I think I have a 4 in Benefit. I originally had a 5, but then I just thought it was too dark, so I got a lighter one. This isn't Benefit that I'm wearing right now. It's actually Mellow Brow Definer. Hope I'm saying that right. It just looks like this. It's got a little spoolie on it, and then this side has the pencil part. I'm just wearing it because I got it in my BoxyCharm, and it looks pretty good in my eyebrows. So how you decide on that is just by your shade and like your hair and all that. But if you're blonde and then you have really dark eyebrows, you don't want to get blonde stuff to put in your eyebrows because that'll look bad. So you just don't want to get one that's super, super dark because it just won't look good type of thing. And I'm trying to think of anything else. Oh yeah, like if you're trying to find a good primer for your face, it usually will tell you, oh, if you're oily, this is good for you. Oh, if you're dry, this is good for you. So if you have dry skin or if you're using a matte primer, unless you have oily skin, then you're using matte primer. But let's say you have normal skin, you're using matte primer, you want to get a moisturizing primer. But if you're already oily, you don't need a moisturizing primer because you don't want to add more to that when, you know, the matte is trying to get rid of it. So moisturizing primer helps people with dry skin or normal skin when they're putting matte foundation, because like this is really, really matte. When you're oily, you want to get one that's kind of like more drying and gets rid of the oils in your skin. And if you're oily, matte foundation is really good for that, because if you get one that's not matte, then you'll just look extra oily, and a lot of people don't like that look for themselves. Like me, I just go with matte because I like matte type of thing. And yeah, that's really it. Today's video is kind of shorter than usual, but I just wanted to give my tips and tricks on the way that you can pick your foundation, your concealer, how to get good products, and you don't have to be stuck with it and not be able to use it. Or luckily, like Ulta, I don't know if Sephora does this, but Ulta, if you get the wrong shade, they'll let you return it and get the correct one, and there's no charge unless, like, I got something in Texas and then I went to Illinois in like, I think it's in Springfield, and so I had to pay for tax, but that was it. So that's really good that they have that set up. The best thing though, if you're trying to shop online, is to make sure that you know the undertones in your skin, and to make sure that you get one that is good for your skin type and is whatever type of coverage that you're looking for. Because if you get it online, yeah, they'll still let you return it and stuff, but more than likely if you're buying it online, that means that you don't live close to one. So you just want to make sure that you try and get something that's perfect for you. And that's why I recommend to use Sephora's website. They have really good things that can help you figure out your undertones in your skin. You know, they help you find a good foundation. So I really like Sephora for that. Yeah, I don't know if Ulta does it. I don't think they do that, but I know that Sephora does it. So, hey, so I hope you enjoyed today's video. I know it's a little different than what I usually do. I usually try and, you know, go on with a full face of makeup or whatever. But this week I just kind of wanted to spice it up a little bit. I wanted to give you good tips and tricks on how to buy stuff and it not be a waste, because who wants to spend $40 on foundation and it be a waste? Been there, done that. Not the best experience. So if you enjoyed this week's video, like and subscribe. You can comment down below. You can tell me some challenges you want me to do. You can leave me eye looks that you want me to do. I have a lot of stuff coming and they're gonna be lit.